Well, and now that you're talking about qualified staff,
Right.
let's talk about you.
Okay.
And what are your qualifications? Where do you come from? Who are you professionally that you are the person that is heading this big project?
Right. So that story starts somewhere in the 90s when I got an opportunity to play for some really big name artists. So I did a couple of tours with who was that? Howard Hewitt. I did something with Monica, and then Brian McKnight, and then.
So you've played in the industry.
Yeah. I mean, well, we're talking about tour bands.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's like it's so many because it's like so many of them. Sometimes my mind goes blank. If you said a name, I would remember. But my job for a lot of that time was to help put some of those bands together. To put those bands together and then to present them on the road. So it'd be, real budgets. We're not talking about, okay, we're gonna do a one-day shot here. We're gonna do a real tour.
So you're a musician, which we need to go further into that, but you also produced?
Yeah. I mean, that came a little bit later. But just on the tour side, you had to be able to play. So interesting. For me, I went to the Coleman School. All right. So the Coleman School it's like Juilliard West Coast.
Okay.
All right, if you can kind of visualize that. When I walked in there, it smelled old. I don't even know you walk in your grandmama's house and grandmama's house smelled old. Okay. That's what it smelled like when you walked into that building. So I knew for a fact that I was in a situation where there were going to be musicians or students who were way ahead of me. I came from South Central Los Angeles, where opportunities weren't at your front door, but when I got into the Coleman School, incidentally, got into the Coleman School because one day I was in the 7th grade and Dr. Pruitt called me into her office. Dr. Pruitt's the principal.
The principal?
Dr. Pruitt is the principal. And
of your school?
Of your junior high school.
Okay.
32nd Street, USC Magnet School. And she calls me into the office, and now I'm flipping because I've never gotten called to the principal's office for nothing. And so, your mind, oh Lord, I'm in trouble.
Right.
Okay, so I'm fear and trembling walking down the hall, knees are knocking. She calls me in, closes the door. Oh no, that's the door of death. Right? I sit down on her little chair, whatever she had in there, and I remember she said, "Listen, the next thing I'm going to tell you, cannot leave this office." Oh Lord! Right? Your mind is going crazy.
Right.
She says, "I need you to do something, and you can't tell anybody that you're doing it."
Wow.
What? Okay. She says, "I need you to walk down the street during school hours. Walk down the street and go see a guy named Dean Joseph Thayer. Joseph Thayer. Go down the street and he's waiting for you right now." Okay. She didn't say, she said, "It's a white building on the corner. Just go down to the corner." Now, you got to understand, here's my middle school. Here's the Shrine Auditorium.
Okay.
You know where the shrine is?
Uh-huh.
And then right here is where I'm supposed to go, at the end of the block.
Okay.
So my middle school, the huge Shrine Auditorium, Michael Jackson, Moonwalk, right? The Shrine Auditorium, right? And then right on the other side is where I'm supposed to go, white building.
Now, she knew you personally?
No.
Oh.
She knew that I could play.
Okay. And what did you play at that time?
Saxophone.
Sax? Okay.
So she knew. So she sends me down the street. I'm walking down the street, fear and trembling. But listen, I'm from the hood. This ain't nothing. But at this particular time, it's fear and trembling. Because of what she just told me, I can't tell my mom. Can't tell anybody. So I go down there, I meet Joseph Thayer. Joseph Thayer is the executive director of the Coleman School. He walks me into the office. He says, hey man, play something for me. And I played whatever I thought I knew.
7th grade.
I was in the 7th grade.
Okay.
And then he says, all right, I'm gonna give you this paperwork. Go give this to your mom. I'm gonna give you a full ride to the Coleman School. Okay? So I get that, man, that was the hardest walk home because I gotta explain to my mom how this came about. And I have to leave the details of walking down the street without a parent or without a teacher during school hours. Now, remember, again, this is, I'm from the hood. We walk down the street all the time. We play in the alley. We play touch football in the street. We play football in the street. We do all kinds we hop fences. We do all kinds of stuff. But that little half a mile of a walk was the longest half a mile in my life. But in any case, so I get the scholarship. My mom signs off on it. Dr. Pruitt signs off on it. Now I'm off. For the first time, I get the opportunity to really discuss music on a serious level.
So Coleman School was what grades?
7th grade. Well, 7th grade until 12th grade.
Okay.
Right. I didn't stop there until I was a senior in high school. I actually graduated.